On Credence, on the feast of the entry of the Most Holy Theotokos into the temple, St. John of Kronstadt Cathedral, Guy City, 4 December 2022. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Today, on the great feast consecrated to the Holy Theotokos, I would like to tell you some words on the virtue of credence. For example, if people trust one another, then there is hope. Credence produces symphony, which sometimes gives great results. When I think about the Holy Theotokos, I want to tell you about the virtue of credence. We may start with her elderly parents, who bore the cross of vilification among the Israelis. In Israel, childless people were considered second-rate. God turned away from them and did not give them children. This was the attitude towards Joachim and Anna, the parents of the Holy Theotokos, even though they were righteous people. They were not simply righteous, they were saintly people, and they endured this vilification and prejudiced attitude towards them. God does not give them children. Perhaps they are unworthy in the sight of God. And they went through this temptation until they became old. At that moment, the Lord announced to them that they would have a child and that this child would be great. It is very hard to trust someone when you are an elderly person. Moreover, if you have borne the cross of disappointment for many years before. They prayed for so many years, and it seemed to them God did not hear them, did not respond to their request, and did not look in their direction. When this happens once, twice, 3 times, a complex often appears. God does not hear me. However, these unique people preserved their trust in God, and finally, in their sunset years, upon the blessing of God, they had a baby who became a very great person. They had a child. Can you imagine what it is like to have a child for elderly people? Many of you here are already grandfathers and grandmothers, and if we compare the birth of our grandchildren and the birth of our children, these are 2 different things. When grandchildren are born, it feels different as you are mature, and you can experience this in another way. And now, imagine at this age, after a long period of disappointment and burden, they have this child, and in 3 years they give her to God, to His church. It would seem they could enjoy being with the child from dawn till dusk and never be tired of looking at her, pampering and taking care of her. But they trusted her to God. They trusted in God, who told them this would be the right way of things. One needs to have a very strong belief to give a long-desired child at 3 years so easily. I am a spiritual guide at our monastery. I have seen many destinies there. There have been many young girls who came to us. Some parents gave their daughters easily, and for some this was a difficult move. I understand all this well, as this is like tearing someone from your heart. They expected to have grandchildren, wanted their daughters to build earthly relationships, and now everything, all their plans, turned upside down. This is possible only when people have trust in God. Those saintly parents, Joachim and Anna, give their 3-year-old child, what is 3 years? It's a mere baby. They give her to the church. Their great daughter grows up in a temple and does not know anything earthly. She only knows God, peace, silence, prayer, and handiwork. On the day of Annunciation, Saint Gabriel, the Archangel, comes to her and says the following strange words to her. You will conceive in your womb and bring forth a son. He said this to a virgin, to which she answered, How can this be, since I do not know a man? I mean, I am not even acquainted with any man, as I do not look at any male face, and I always stay in this temple. If a man passes by somewhere, I lower my eyes. How can a child be born, since I do not know a man? Not specifically, but I do not know what their faces look like, except for the face of the chief priest. To which the archangel tells her humbly, The Lord blessed so. And she answers humbly as well, Behold, the maidservant of the Lord, let it be to me according to your word. If the Lord blessed this, let it be so. Perhaps I do not understand this in detail. The only thing I clearly realize is that the Lord blessed this. That's it. Amen. This is enough for me. Life is a very complicated thing, and very often we do not understand something. More often, we do not understand anything. The Lord builds up our fate very wisely. It seems to us that something should go this way, but the Lord, through circumstances, contradicts us and does everything vice versa. And a person who has not any credence in God begins to doubt. Credence appears through experience. One cannot trust the first person he meets. There should be the experience of a relationship. Your experience tells you, last time everything was all right. I did not understand everything, but in the end, everything turned out to be all right. This happened previously, and even before this happened many times. I did not understand this, but I trusted myself to this person, and everything was all right. This is how experience brings credence. When we come to church, in the beginning we have a naive state of our heart, which seeks something holy. The heart seeks some consolation in this hard, dirty, and evil world, the place where the light comes. We come with hope, but we have no experience, and we begin to build a relationship with God in the way we see it. We come and acquire our first negative experience. God answers us in a way that we did not expect Him to do. We thought everything would be simple, easy, and decisive, but God gives us absolutely different things. For the first, second, and third time, we may contradict God, and even have a light quarrel with Him. Why, Lord? But we gain our experience then. In time, looking back, we realize everything should have been this way, in that situation. Yes, perhaps we need to go through some sorrow and overcome some pain. But we will do this for the sake of the result. God always acts with consideration of perspective. We see what is happening here and now, and our vision is narrow, while God sees the perspective and acts so the result is good. I was appointed as your senior priest only 2 weeks ago, and I need your credence very much. You should simply trust me. Again, you should trust and consider the experience. I have some history. I am not a stranger to you. You have observed me from the side. You saw what I was doing, and you drew your attention to what I did. This is why you have some experience. This is why I am asking you, trust me. Trust those people who serve in the altar and those who sing. I apologize that today I served with my choir. I have a convent, which I did not simply found, but I gave birth to it. Women, you should understand what it is like to give birth. This happens through pain. Yes. Of course, they are missing me, and I am missing them. This is why today I asked my choir to serve with me the way I am used to. This does not mean I refuse the local choir, not at all. This is only for one time. The choir will sing as it used to sing. Just simply trust me, please. There will be many moments ahead. I have my peculiarities, you have yours, and they will cross in a way. You should believe I am going to do better for all. That's it. If there is credence, everything will go easily. If there is no credence, every trifle thing will irritate and raise questions. What is this? Why? The answer is very simple. You should simply trust Him. Amen. In short, He wants to do what is best. May God grant peace in our parish. There should be peace, love, and consent. A priest is appointed as the head of the parish. All traces lead to him, and he makes the final decisions. When our Tsar Alexander III, who was a great peacemaker, was dying, he said his last words to the future emperor, Nicholas II. He said, "You may and you should listen to somebody's opinion. However, you should make a decision yourself. A country should not resemble a henhouse where everyone has his or her own opinion. As far back as ancient Rome, when they invented this nonsense of democracy, one Roman wise man said, 'Settle a democracy at your houses, try it, and only then settle it in your country and the world.'" Thank you for coming to the service and venerating the Holy Theotokos. What can we give back to her for her love? We can only show our respect and venerate her. What else can we do? We grieve her more often, don't we? We keep trying to jump, but cannot take off. However, she is patient and keeps giving us chances. When someone is being patient with you, while you are so feeble, you feel gratitude towards them. We should be grateful to the Holy Theotokos and our sweetest Jesus Christ. We should be grateful and say, "I thank you for having been patient with me for so much time and for not punishing me. O most holy Theotokos, save us."